Brady. This is going to be exciting.
And the career starts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's going to win it here in spectacular fashion.
We are live from Watkins Glen International Raceway. It's here, the final race of the season. We have champions to crown, but one last race to settle it all. The green flag is just minutes away. This is the Goat Locker Racing MK Fire Design Sports Car Series right now on V-Speed, your #1 source of online coverage. I'm Ken Huber, and tonight we got a special guest. We got Bobby Bender up here in the booth with me, as well as handling production tonight, so a little bit of double duty for Bobby. And then our cameras are being provided by Dougie Beard. Well, welcome to the booth there, Bobby. You've done a great job all year, and you're here for the final race of the season. I think people are going to be anxious to hear your voice.
Well, it's definitely not my first time in the booth, but it is a pleasure to be up here again, and too bad I'm still stuck behind the cameras, but I'm excited to see how the racing falls out tonight.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And you're looking at the track right now. Actually, we're looking at the NASCAR version of the track. We're actually got the boot in this one, so it's actually 3.5 miles. So we're just missing one little section there that you see on your screen. But the boot section is quite an interesting little addition to this track, and it's actually probably the most technical. The NASCAR is probably the easiest, and that, like I said, that's what you're looking at now. But out here in New York in the Rolling Hills, we're going to have a good race, multi-class racing here at Watkins Glen tonight. And speaking of the points, we bring up the points here and talk about them. Pretty much you're looking at our champions right now as we come into this race. Reagan Carty, if you look over there on the prototype side, he only needed to start this race, and he is here tonight, so it looks like he is going to be crowned champion. Jamie Lipke had her hopes dashed tonight, was hoping that Reagan Carty might have some kind of technical difficulty and not be here and grab that championship, but that doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. But Bill Molefield, another strong performer there, looks like he might finish in third with a good race here tonight. And then over on the sports car side, you got Austin Cobb. He's basically walked away with this. Some really fantastic racing out of that Corvette and Austin Cobb this season. Joshua Jackson put up a good fight, but with last week's race kind of sealed the deal. Austin Cobb didn't even need to show up tonight, and he secured himself that championship. There's a look at your points, but we still got lots of racing here at Watkins Glen, and it's going to be nice out here. It's a hot track out here, 102 degrees. Watkins Glen is a fan favorite.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's definitely one of my bucket lists that I want to go watch a race at. Not only just the track, just the history surrounding Watkins Glen and the area. But as you can see on screen, we have our race analysis. This will be just a 1-hour race. Pit road speed tonight will be 40 miles an hour, unlimited tires as always. One fast repair. We are down to 60% fuel tonight with an open setup.
Well, let's talk. We're wrapping up qualifying as you read down our race analysis there. So let's talk about our Jam Printing and Promotion Pull Award winner. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker since the very beginning, local and veteran certified. When they do well, they do good in the community. And how about that? No surprise there. Reagan Carty is going to lead us to the green flag here at the start of Watkins Glen. He's going to have Brendan McDonald in the 92 starting on his outside. Jamie Lipke will start in P3 with Max Dragu starting on her outside in P4. Jason Kristen will start P5 with Tyler Justice on the outside in that 33 machine in P6. And Bill Mulfield will wrap up the 7th position in the prototype class here tonight.
Over to the GT3s, Austin Cobb, your series champion, will start on the pole. Outside of him is Patty Armstrong. Starting in row 2 will be Itamar Elemehe and Samuel Yosef riding shotgun. Next row you have Joshua Jackson, and outside of him will be the 10 of Corinne Smith. Next row will be the 86 of Timothy Wilms. Outside of him will be Ian Briske. And the final 2 cars on the field will be Alexander Sexauer and DJ Patterson.
Yeah, so a nice little turnout for the end of the season here. And like I said, we have championships pretty much all locked up. And at the end of the race here, we're going to talk to our race winners and our champions here as we're getting the final clearance. The pace car is rolling as we speak, going up through the last couple of turns here at Watkins Glen. So not a lot of time to get the tires heated up as we're going to send them down into turn 1. So just a couple more turns away before we turn them green flag racing here. Reagan Carty's been so dominant every time he shows up. Last week showed up at Indy and just put everybody, I think everybody went 2 laps down if I remember, but pretty incredible. Reagan Carty, your champion, also going to lead him to the green flag. Last race of the season coming up. It's going to have Brendan McDonald there in the Wienermobile. Lots of hot dogs painted on the side of that car, all over that car. Pace car ducks into pit lane, wait for the green flag, and we are green flag racing, and away the prototypes go down into turn 1. They're staying single files, 2 by 2, and it looks like Brendan McDonald might have got a little better jump, but Reagan Carty's going to get through turn 1, and they're going to get single file.
And back with GT3s, Austin Cobb and Patty Armstrong will enter turn 1 side by side. Still 2 by 2 out of the turn.
Yeah, what a move there. You're watching Patty Armstrong take the lead from Austin Cobb, who had that pole position. Austin Cobb trying to fight off those 3 teammates there. He got Patty Armstrong, Itamar Elemeh. I think I got that name fairly close there. And then Sammy Yosef back there as well. And then you see our second place in points, Joshua Jackson there in that green Porsche. But Austin Cobb now in second place. Austin Cobb, another one of these dominant drivers here in the GT3 field, has actually got a race on his hands tonight here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, being surrounded by those Mercedes can't feel good. Although it's been like that most of the season for him, so I feel like he should be used to it by now.
Yeah, and I think he might be.
No!
We got a spin in the back. I think that was Sammy Yosef. No, it wasn't.
Itamar.
That was one of the teammates. Itamar Elemeh has spun that Mercedes around going into the boot section of the track and had to tow that car to pit lane. So early troubles early on here at Watkins Glen for one of our drivers here.
Let's take another quick look at that.
Taking another look at that. There might have been some contact there with Joshua Jackson. Take another look at this. As they're headed down into the boot section, this is a very difficult part of the track here. The car gets very loose going in here. So you have to be careful, and it looks like...
he just
loses it on his own there.
Yeah, just got loose.
Yeah, tough break for Itamar. Not sure he's going to be back out. We're going to take a look, see if he's still on pit lane. Yeah, and it looks like he is out of this session. So wrecked out early for Itamar, and we're going back to our leader there, Reagan Carty. Is the prototype field is kind of got all single file in a hurry. Reagan Carty trying to stretch it out. Brendan McDonald holding a good chase right now, only 1 second behind Reagan. So we've only seen one other driver really put some heat on Reagan Carty, and that's Hector Collazo. And Hector Collazo isn't here tonight, so Reagan Carty might be able to get some pressure from Brendan McDonald, who's also had a race win this season. Not really fighting in the championship, but Brendan McDonald can show speed here and there.
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward to Hector Collazo showing up. That way we could have a battle for the GTPs and the GT3s tonight. But it's Reagan Carty out there.
We'll see if Brendan McDonald in that Wienermobile can drive one of those hot dogs up there and catch him. But there's a battle in back, Jamie Lipke and Max Dragu. So Jamie Lipke just behind there. Those two were side by side. Jamie Lipke with a little bit of the advantage right now. Jamie Lipke up to the 3rd position now. So she is making herself known out there great job there trying to hold on to that position from Max Dragu.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Max usually drives the GT3s, correct?
I can't remember. Max has only got a couple of races here, so I can't remember if he was in the. I think he was in the prototype last time, but I could be mistaken.
Okay, maybe that was before or in between my producing days here for the GT series.
Yeah, if I had to remember, I would say he's only got one race here, which was either last week or the week before. So I don't remember what he was driving. He could very well have been in a GT3. I mean, these drivers aren't competing for points at this point, so they're in it to see if they can bring a different kind of, maybe a different kind of car to the season and maybe eke out a win here at the end of it.
Or maybe trying out some new cars for the next season of the GT series.
Absolutely, and we don't know what next season is going to bring. So, also, iRacing made a change, a balance of power to at least the GT3s. I don't know about the prototypes, but there has been some changes. So some of the cars that were really strong, maybe early in the season, like the Mustangs and whatnot, might have been nerfed a little bit. And when I mean nerfed, that means maybe given a little bit more of a weight penalty, and some of the cars have been given an advantage. We're still watching this battle up here. Jamie Lipke doing a great job there trying to hold on to that position.
That was a great Call of Duty reference there for nerfing. I love it.
Yeah, nerfing and buffing, and so I was going to drive the Lamborghini here this season, and it felt really good at the beginning of the season. Then I heard iRacing made a change to the balance of power, and so they upgraded the torque, which is good. The Lambo really needs it, but they also, I think, gave it a weight penalty too. So I haven't driven it since, so I don't know how it handles how the Lamborghini would be right now. And I don't think I've seen a single driver out here, at least in this series, racing the Lamborghini, which is one of my favorite cars, that and the Corvette, which Austin Cobb is put on a pretty dominant season there. Austin Cobb running right behind Patty Armstrong. Austin Cobb has nothing to lose. He's won the championship, so all he needs to do is keep it clean out there and show why he's a dominant performer. And I wouldn't put it past him to just calmly and collectively getting another win here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And last week, I mean, Patty Armstrong had a really good pursuit until he had a little issue. I believe he said he spun coming off pit road last week, which allowed
that. Yeah, that's possible. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. And that was, there at Indy. It's a tricky getting off pit road and then making that first right-hander. You got to be careful there, and you might have overpowered it there. But we're watching Austin Cobb as they come towards the bus stop here. Got right on the back of that Mercedes, putting some pressure on Patty Armstrong right now. We've seen Patty make a few mistakes this season. Relatively a new driver to this series, actually a few new drivers, but looks like Austin Cobb is in that teammate sandwich with Sammy Yosef just behind him there.
Yeah, I think
Sammy Yosef may be waiting for something to happen up front.
Yeah, I think this is the closest Austin Cobb's been all night, other than the start of the race. So let's see if he can make a move and capitalize. What, in your opinion, what's the best passing zone here?
There's a few. As a matter of fact, the corner they're coming out of right now is a good passing zone. Going into this braking zone right here, I believe, is turn 8. And they're in the boot section here, and it looks like Austin is going to think wiser of that. Now, coming up to this next part, you might be able to make a pass on corner exit here, but this next corner is one of the toughest corners on the track because of the boot section. You're basically coming around this left-hander and back on the main part of the NASCAR portion of Watkins Glen, and the car gets really unsettled there.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I believe something just happened to Jamie Lipke. We're looking at a replay right now as they're going down the backstretch coming into one. Contact with, looks like Max Dragu there going into one.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Jamie. Had such a good season. I mean, she still had a good season, but that's going to move her all the way back to the 6th position there. So Max letting Jamie know that he's out there. So Jamie, we've seen Jamie have to work from a deficit before. We'll see what she can do once again there. Looking at, I'm actually trying to find her. Oh, there we go. Yeah, she's in 6th, and she's quite a ways off now. Jason Kristen, who's running in the 5th spot currently, as we're watching this 3-car battle with the GT3s currently.
I mean, you're looking at the best battle on track right now. So, oh, it looks like Max Drogu got a black flag. I wonder if that had anything to do with the contact that we saw there entering one.
It certainly was. The race official definitely a black flag that car for contact with Jamie Lipke. So race control has felt that Max Dragu was a little over aggressive there and going to have to serve a drive-through penalty.
As he brings it down pit road now, we still look at your battle for the GT3s.
Getting up here, Austin Cobb, I think, Austin is just being really content here as they go through the boot section. And this is the section I was talking about before. They go uphill, and this is one of the awkward elevation changes where you got to be very careful getting on the throttle here, because most Watkins Glen isn't a super technical track. There's a lot of grip out here, and technically, almost all the corners have positive camber in the track, so the car really loads up through the corners. So it's a very, I don't want to say easy to drive, because going fast and putting the car at the limit, any track is difficult, but Watkins Glen is probably the easiest to bring it to that limit without going over it. And Austin Cobb just handling that Corvette perfectly, just waiting for Patty to make one mistake and so he can capitalize on it.
We're going to take a few cars back here and look at the 10 of Corin Smith and Timothy Wilms battling out for the overall 5th position for GT3s.
Yeah, Corin Smith actually having a solid night out there running in that 5th position in that Porsche. You can see that pinkish and yellow Porsche. And you've got Timothy Wilms back there, another one of those strong drivers in that BMW. Timothy Wilms was up there in the points, had a really consistent season this year. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to take a look here and see where Timothy Wilms is 3rd in points. About 400 points back of, as we're watching this pass going into the carousel here. And it looks like Wilms is going to complete it and march that BMW forward and get around Corin Smith. But, yeah, Timothy Wilms has had a stellar season. And as a matter of fact, if Reagan Carty hadn't showed up tonight, we were looking at maybe excuse me, not Reagan Carty, but Austin Cobb had missed a couple of races over the season. This could have been a huge battle between him and Joshua Jackson. But Austin Cobb just really consistent there and able to knock out that championship.
Yeah, I like watching Joshua Jackson race. He's very methodical with his pit stops and makes big risk calls when it comes to strategy, and it's paid off for him a couple times. It's quite interesting to watch.
Yeah, well, sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield, I guess. And last week, he happened to be the bug. So he came onto pit lane 10 minutes into a run, and that definitely was the wrong move. I don't know that he would have gained any further positions. It's hard to say, but we're watching Reagan Carty go by. Timothy Wilms, Reagan Carty, our leader of the prototype field. But, yeah, Joshua Jackson has won a race due to great calls out there on pit lane. You're right. It's always fun to watch him. As we're watching, Austin Cobb gets into the back of Patty there, trying to get around there. And I think that trying to advantage, that's Bill Mofield just ahead of them. Bill Mofield running in that prototype, currently in the 7th position. And I think as he was going around, Austin Cobb was trying to find like a good spot, a sweet spot to get around Patty. Couldn't find it there. And gets into the back a little bit of Patty. No crashes though, so that's good.
Yeah, looks like Patty just closed the door on him because Austin was going to try to follow Bill Milfold around him.
As they're on the backside.
No.
We got some damage. That looks like
Max Drogu.
Max Dragu is got some damage at rear wing hanging off that prototype. We're going back to the V-Speed instant replay and see exactly what happened here. And yeah, this is that portion of the track. He just gets up on the curb and into the grass and sends the rear of that car around. Now, why the rear spoiler is missing on that, we're going to take a look. And he just backs it into the wall.
That's probably why. That'll do it.
Yeah. Does it every time. And since he damaged the back end, why not damage the front and run the front end into the wall? But dragging that thing all the way to pit lane, I guess. So that car is going to be no good. So his troubles have all started with contact he had with Jamie Lipke and having to serve a drive-through. And now he's out there. He's still dragging that wing. I don't know if you can go back to him, but he's still dragging. Oh, no, don't do that. We got Austin Cobb making an attempt. There he is, dragging that wing. But Austin Cobb trying to get the lead back right now as they go through the S's. This is turn 2, 3, and 4. Definitely has the advantage now. Austin Cobb, Patty Armstrong was able to make a jump on the start for this race and get the lead. But now Austin Cobb was able to get around Patty through the S's and now maybe able to set sail. just opened about a 3 or 4 car gap over Patty. Now Patty's fallen into the clutches of Sammy Yosef.
Yeah, Sammy Yosef is going to try to capitalize and take that second spot away from Patty Armstrong. His teammate, as you see Reagan Carty show up in the background here to try to pass all 3 of them.
Those two are still working on each other. Yeah, Reagan Carty's starting to open up. He's almost got a 9-second gap over second place Brennan McDonald. So Reagan Carty doing what he always does there and able to clear those 3 cars. And now we'll see if we got another battle in ensue. And before we get there, let's talk about Indiana Department of Affairs, of Veteran Affairs, I should say. The Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs is an agency focused on assisting the Hoosier State veterans, service personnel, and their families in obtaining state and federal benefits. They work with a network of certified county veteran service officers to provide no-cost assistance with information and paperwork preparation. So if you're a veteran out there and looking for employment opportunities out there in the Hoosier State, make sure you look up Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. They'll be glad to help you. And Indiana, as I understand, is a pretty nice state.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. You know, I'm originally from Ohio, so Indiana's okay. I don't mind it as long as we don't go any further north. To state up north, we're good.
They don't have all the corn that Ohio ones, right?
We definitely got corn. That's definitely for sure.
I remember one time I was driving cross country and I was going through Indiana, and somehow I got off course and I ended up driving this rural route, and it was in the middle of the dark, in the middle of the night, I should say. I couldn't see anything, tell where I was. I was just like hoping and praying I could make my way back to the interstate. And that's kind of my experience with Indiana. I was like, please get me out of here. As we're watching the Wienermobile back there, that's Brendan McDonald in that hot dog flavored prototype out there going around those drivers in the GT3s. That's our leader, Austin Cobb, just ahead of him there. And Brendan McDonald running in second in the prototype is going to get around Austin in a good place for Austin. Kind of wasn't the greatest place for those true drivers behind him of Patty Armstrong and Sam and Yosef, but that allowed Austin Cobb to open up a little bit more of a gap now.
Yeah, I wonder why there's no mustard or ketchup on them hot dogs. It's kind of looking kind of bland there, but definitely not short on speed.
He likes those dogs plain, I guess. So, but Brendan McDonald, he's having a really good night so far. You know, Brendan McDonald, I really thought he would be one of those drivers in the hunt for a championship. He'll downplay it. I've talked to him before, and he downplays it. Oh, I'm not that good. But he is one of the more consistent, and he does carry a lot of speed in those prototypes. He even does. I raced him the first season here at Goat Locker in the GT3 series, and very consistent, very fast driver. So I know if he puts his mind to it, maybe if you put a little bit of practice in here and there, he'd probably be even more competitive than he already is. But already a really competitive driver out there, but he's got that new paint scheme out there that's I kind of admire there, all those hot dogs on that thing. Making me hungry.
Yeah, I agree. It looked like Austin
went
Cobb.
Around.
Say again?
I'm sorry. I was going to say he just went around Ian Brisky. We haven't talked about it. I believe Ian Brisky, I think I got that name right. Ian is new to the league there in that silver Mercedes. Currently running back there in the 9th position. So welcome aboard there, Ian. And hope you're having fun out there in the Goat Locker Racing GT3, or the Sports Car Series, I should say. I'm sorry for interrupting there, Bobby.
Oh, no, you're good. Just watching the race, that's all.
It has been a lot of fun watching these races. So, you know, I say it every race, we're looking at 60% fuel. These drivers, the GT3s will probably be able to go about 35, 40 minutes. The prototype should be in within 25 to 30 minutes. I believe these cars, Watkins Glen does use quite a bit more fuel than some of the other road courses we visit, as we're watching Alexander Sexauer in the GT3. But so the GT3s should be able to do this on one stop. Prototypes, I believe, will have to do it in two. But Reagan Carty's been pretty good on fuel mileage. We'll have to see if he can stretch it out past the 30-minute mark and make this on one stop. But we've got about 5 or 6 more minutes before we can find that out.
Yeah, right now we're watching Alexander Sexauer and DJ Patterson with Jamie Lipke trying to get around the two of them while they battle it out for position.
Yeah, nice little battle form in here, back here for the 7th position. DJ Patterson would like to have it. Running that McLaren out there, we've seen DJ. DJ had some struggles, I believe, last week at Indy. So did a lot of drivers. I think drivers really struggled with that track with the heat and being it so flat. As it looks like DJ Patterson is just going to kindly let that prototype by of Jamie Lipke and give up some racetrack position, I should say, not on track position, but give up some car lengths behind that driver he was chasing of Alexander Sexauer, just to be kind to Jamie there. Jamie currently running in the 5th position.
Looks like we might have a battle for 3rd on our hands in the GTP series between Tyler Justice and Jason Kristen, with a bunch of traffic in front of them.
Yeah, this should be fun. So Tyler Justice, we haven't seen him race out here that much this season. He's out there in that red and black prototype. Tyler is running the Porsche, and Jason Kristen is running the Acura. So Jason Kristen in that green and black prototype. It's kind of nice seeing these prototypes battle. We haven't seen a lot of it this season. We've seen a couple of lead battles, but this is definitely shaping up to be a good one for the last podium spot here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these two drivers battle it out, because like you said, the GTP series has been pretty straightforward. They single out and they just run, but most of the excitement has been the GT3 series with the leaders specifically.
Well, look at that. Jason Kristen goes by on the outside in turn 1. So Jason Kristen doing a great job. Tyler Justice now looking at the inside on the S's, but that Mercedes there of Ian Brisky is going to hold up Tyler Justice's momentum as they head towards the bus stop.
It looks like
Justice.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Tyler Justice gets way up on those curbs. That really slows that car down. He had to gather it up. That's why he's fallen back quite a bit off Jason Kristen now. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it looked like Ian had blocked Kristen at first and then went to move out of the Kristen's way and then ended up blocking Justice.
And just behind them, looking at Ian, you got the leader. He's about to put Ian a lap down here. Going to the inside here, there's our leader, Austin Cobb, also the champion here this season. Just going to try to put the final nail in the coffin here tonight, as he is starting to escape a little bit from the 2nd place car of Patty Armstrong in the GT3 field. Has got about 2 seconds over Patty at the moment.
Yeah, just about 2 seconds and a lap car in between them, so that's a nice little buffer to have when you're running up front.
Yeah, and it's prior to the pit cycle too, which is always important. It's something I always look forward to, is if I'm going to have to enter pit lane with another car, and do I want to do it earlier, do I want to do it later? Because if I'm following somebody, like if I'm Patty Armstrong, I don't want to come in with Cobb. Especially if I think I'm better at getting onto pit lane and I'm really close to him. Right now, he's not really in danger of that, but if we were bumper to bumper, and I thought I was better on getting on the pit lane than him, then I might wait an extra lap or come in a lap early. But definitely want to try to time it to not come on pit lane at the same time as Austin does.
Okay. Yeah, my Achilles heel seems to be getting on pit road and not speeding. There's so many factors when it comes into getting on pit road. You have to slow down without taking yourself out. You got to make sure you maintain speed. You got to make sure you're checking what changes you want done, tires, fuel, adjustments, all while making sure you're not speeding and then not missing your box. Car goes up, car comes down, you're off, still maintaining speed, checking last minute things before you hit the track.
It's a lot to think about, and most of these drivers out here, they don't have real crew chiefs, they have virtual crew chiefs. So you're right, you got to be the driver and the crew chief. Oh, Reagan Carty. For a minute there, I thought DJ was going to come down, but DJ just letting him by there. But now coming up on the back of Alexander Sexauer, put him another lap down. But Reagan Carty continuing that dominant performance, almost 20 seconds over Brendan McDonald at the moment, as we're looking at Jason Kristen right now, and it looks like that battle's starting to heat back up. Tyler Justice ever so slowly reeling in that 33 or that 02 car of Jason Kristen.
Yeah, Kristen originally passed him and gapped him, and Justice is slowly starting to reel him back in. And watch that gap get smaller and smaller.
And these two guys still duking it out as they go through the carousel. This is, or excuse me, it's not the carousel. That's turn 4. But now they're going through the bus stop. And these prototypes, you got to be really careful on these curbs. Like I said, they don't have much of a suspension. They're very easy to upset, especially on the slower turns. Watkins Glen, most of the turns are really fast here, so you can really use that downforce to your advantage. But you get into the slower corners, like we've seen Max Drago, who's now out of this race, lose it there on turn 9. That's the slowest corner of the track, and there's no downforce on that car, and it's just very easy to do. Got that tire in the grass. So the slower these prototypes get, the worse they behave. If you can keep that speed up and keep the pressure down on those cars, you have a lot of grip.
Yeah, one thing that I have yet to master or even come close to even becoming competitive is road racing, because you got braking zones, you got to make sure you don't lock up the tires, not upset the car, and then aero on top of all that. So it's a lot to take in. This is some very talented individuals out here, as we see Justice hit the pit road.
So we're seeing our first prototype on the field, and this is what I was thinking. They couldn't go to the halfway point. At least that's the way it looks. Tyler Justice hasn't been out here all season, so he might be lacking a little bit of experience to know when to come into pit road and save fuel or whatever. But I kind of feel like we'll probably see the rest of our prototype field come in maybe the next time by. I think Tyler Justice is a pretty fast driver and probably is aware of how far he can go. And just what I was talking about, Tyler was running behind Jason Kristen, and maybe it's one of those situations where don't want to come in at the same time as Kristen and have Kristen slow down your pace there on pit road entry.
So almost try to jump him, if you will.
Yep, try to do the overlap here. It looks like Reagan Carty is going to go by pit lane once again. Still, we got about 5 minutes before the halfway point, but Jamie Lipke now on pit road. So a lot of these cars aren't making it to the halfway point. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to see our prototypes all probably be on pit lane the next time by. Bill Mofield now going by pit lane. So time will tell. Reagan Carty was the only one. I think I've seen another. Sammy Yosef was really good on fuel this season. Reagan Carty has always had the ability to stretch it out. He's so fast once you get up there too. He could probably conserve fuel at the same time he's going fast. I don't know how he does it, but if he can make it past that halfway point, it'll be an amazing feat here at Watkins Glen.
It's funny because Reagan Carty will get out to a huge lead, and you could think he could just manage the gap and save as much fuel as possible, but then he still somehow manages to gain time on everybody. I don't understand it.
It's the art of road course racing. It can be done. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm not the greatest fuel saver, but I can do it when I have to. But it definitely is an art form to going fast and saving fuel. I can tell you on road course racing that I tend to be a little bit better than everybody else, but I don't think it's on purpose. I think it just has to do with my driving style. That's a little easier on fuel. I tend to maybe brake a little softer into the corners, don't carry so much speed, and I just save a little bit here and there as Reagan Carty goes by pit lane once again. But continuing his dominant performance now, 16, 17 seconds ahead of Brendan McDonald in the Wienermobile. So Brendan McDonald doing a great job out there, but man, just doesn't have what he needs for Reagan Carty at the moment. And Brendan McDonald spins it. Oh, Brendan McDonald headed to pit lane just as I called him out there. Spins it going on to pit lane, coming around that corner.
Well,
I don't think he hurt that car, but
I also wonder if that's going to be a commitment line violation.
Yeah, I don't know. Watkins Glen is such a, you don't have much of an opportunity to screw that up, but he might have. So I don't see a black flag on my screen. I do see Jason Kristen with a black flag though, as we went back to that replay there. So Jason Kristen's got a black flag. Not sure what that's for.
Yeah. Jason Kristen is on pit road, so maybe too fast entering or something of that nature.
It's possible. We'll have to see how long he spends on pit road, but that's definitely going to be an advantage for Tyler Justice, who was trying to chase him down. So Brendan McDonald leaving his pit stall as we're back with Reagan Carty navigating his way through, just behind Tyler Justice there, about to put Tyler Justice a lap down.
I mean, I assume Reagan Carty would come in this time, though, correct?
Yeah, it looks. He was
or
low,
not.
but nope. Tyler Justice still out there too. So, oh no, it looks like Tyler Justice has made his pit stop. So, all the prototypes have made pit stops, with the exception of Reagan Carty. So Reagan Carty doing what he needs to do with fuel so far, but he's going to need to go 2 more laps, probably to make this on one stop. We'll see if he can do it. And then I'm looking here at Jason Kristen. Yeah, I think you're right. He got a speeding ticket on his way into pit lane. And he's still on pit lane serving that penalty. So I believe that's like a 40-second penalty for speeding on the pit lane.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I may have gotten one of those, a time or two.
Yeah, don't ask me how I know that information.
Don't ask me how I know, but I know.
We'll see if Reagan Carty makes his way onto pit lane. I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to keep our eye on Reagan Carty, see if he comes in next time by, and see if he gets that machine service, because this is going to be the tell. If he can go 1 more lap, he should be able to do this on one stop, which is going to be pretty amazing. We're coming right up to the halfway point, and it's really all about timing too when the end of this race falls. So it's quite possible, and with the lead he's got, he can save fuel for the rest of the race, basically, because he's got such a commanding lead over the rest of the field. Yeah, he's coming in to get that car serviced. Now the question is...
That's right at the halfway mark.
Right at the halfway mark, but the problem is with the timed race is you don't know where he's going to cross the line that last lap of the race, or towards the end of the race. And that could add a lap. And so... he could have to do a splash and dash at the end, or he might make it. But being that he has such a lead, he should be able to conserve fuel. But I'm going to do something different as Reagan Carty is making his pit stop. I'm going to drag one of our drivers in the booth while he is driving. But let me make sure that he is not tied up in a mess. Yeah, he's running out there all by himself. So I'm going to do an in-car race interview here. Just stand by. We're going to bring up second place right now. Brendan McDonald. Brendan McDonald out there in the Wienermobile. Doing a great job. We watched you embarrass yourself there on pit road entry. How's it going out there for you?
What are you talking about? Embarrass myself? I did that for you. Had to spice it up for you. No, that was really embarrassing. Sad you caught that, but that's all right.
That's what we need, more cars on the track, and then we might be distracted by other goings on. But with a limited car field out here, it's kind of easy to catch those mistakes.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I mean, it's you're never gonna catch Reagan, so you gotta spice up your own life here and there. On a side note, how is he saving so much fuel, Ken? Are you watching him at all? I mean, what is he doing?
I have no idea. He made it to the halfway point on fuel. The question is where that timer is going to hit. I think he might have to do a splash and dash at the end, depending on where he crosses the line towards the end of this race, whether he has to do an extra lap.
Either way, I've got to take an extra lap. So does Jason behind me. I think Tyler does as well. So I'm not saving three gallons of fuel over the next how many laps we got, but it's just incredible to watch, especially seeing as he'll win the championship tonight. Really happy for him, but got to figure out what he's doing so differently. Besides driving faster.
And being that he's got quite a sizable lead over you at the moment, 25 seconds.
Oh, yeah, rub it in. Keep it going. Yeah, rub it in.
He's probably able to save a little bit of fuel in the cockpit, and so you're not putting any pressure on him, so and making him use that fuel.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point, but at the same time, saving an extra lap and a half of fuel, it's pretty impressive. I don't know what he's doing, but kudos to him.
Well, hey, I've had a lot of fun racing with you over the years. I raced with you in the GT3 series, and you're a solid driver, a very fast driver. Reagan Carty and Hector Collazo, they're on their own terms, but you're a good driver in your own right, and doing a great job out there tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. It's been a pleasure racing with you as well, and looking forward to future on-track battles and hearing your great voice as we continue to race.
All right. Well, I'm going to send you back to your team here, and good luck to you, and hang on to that car tonight.
Thanks, Ken. Hopefully see you in about 30 minutes.
All right. Well, that was I just moved him to the wrong team there. There we go.
I've done that before. That's awkward.
Yeah, I'm sure it was awkward for him. He gets moved in, and when you're driving, I don't know how good he is. We're watching a battle there. Corin Smith, I believe, going a lap down there.
That's a battle for position. That's the battle
that
for fourth
is.
place.
Wow, that's a great job there for Corin there. So just taking a look at that. I was talking to Brendan McDonald, not paying attention to this battle on track. Joshua Jackson getting by Corin Smith there. Joshua Jackson running in that fourth position now. So sorry, I missed that, Bobby. What did you see?
So Joshua Jackson had already made his pit stop, and I believe that was him just taking back a position after his pit stop. I do not believe Corinne has brought it on pit lane yet.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. As we're at almost to the 35-minute mark in this race, I see a bumper on the track as they go by. So somebody has left parts and pieces of their car back there. Not sure who that was. See Sammy Yosef. Oh, I think I do know who that was. It's maybe a silver Mercedes out there.
I think it might have been Ian. We can try to go back and take a look. I might have that. Hang on.
Yeah, Ian Brisky. It's that tricky portion of the track, the slowest portion of the track. When you come back out of the boot and onto the regular section of the racetrack here at Watkins Glen, like I said, it's a little bit of an elevation change. You go uphill and then you crest the hill, and the rear end gets really light on you, right about here. And that Mercedes, yeah, it just comes around and nosedives it into the inside retaining wall. So, Ian Brisky. With an incident out here on the track, does have that quick repair. I'm going to go ahead and get that car serviced and get back out there. Probably won't lose too much over that. As we're back looking at Joshua Jackson, currently running in the fourth place. You know, we were talking about Brendan McDonald there, but Joshua Jackson, you know, is another one of those solid drivers out there, just really consistent. Looking at him right now in that green Porsche. In the fourth position, really kept it close all season with Cobb. It was able to get a fuel mileage race won this season. I believe it was I think it was Fuji, or it was one of the tracks at Japan, either Fuji or Suzuka.
Yeah,
and
I think you're right.
But hasn't found victory lane since. But you know, has been close enough, kept it there, and has tried some pit strategy you mentioned there, Bobby, at the top of the broadcast. Just hasn't been able to get that second win on the season.
Yeah, you know, after watching Brendan McConnell for all those laps, you know, and seeing that hot dog there staring me in the face, got kind of hungry. You know a good place to eat over in Ohio?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what you just said there. I don't. Well, you got Nasty's restaurant, bar, and bar. March 21st, 2012, Nasty's opened its doors in Hillard, Ohio. From the get-go, they aimed to embody the energy and passion their sons and Nathan and John poured into their dreams. Nathan's commitment to hospitality ensured that every guest received exceptional food service. They are the co-sponsor of the Wednesday Next Gen series. They have hosted numerous fundraisers in their establishment with the goal of raising funds to donate sim rigs to well-deserving veterans and first responders. So Nasty's Bar and Grill, if you're out there in Ohio near the area, you're doing Indy this year, stop by, let them know that Goat Locker sent you and you appreciate everything they do for our first responders and veterans.
Yeah, while you were reading that, we had a development there with Reagan Carty. I am not entirely sure what happened. I just got a notification that he may have crashed and he was just sitting on the track, not moving. So I don't know if... I'm going to try to go back and take a look at what happened, but he has lost a position to Brendan McDonald in doing so.
Yeah, and even race control was confused. Thought he might have ran out of gas as you're looking back, trying to figure out what happened here.
I'm going to try here. Here we got the replay up. Nothing out of the ordinary so far. Running behind Jamie Lipke.
I don't know. Maybe he had to answer his phone. Yeah, he just stopped on the track for some reason. And right now he's putting on pressure on Brendan McDonald. Now that he's got that car going, so he just stopped on track there for some reason. Maybe equipment there, but now he's going to buy Brendan McDonald here. That might cost him a little bit on the fuel department situation. Now, can Brendan McDonald keep it close? Because that might have cost him and added that extra lap I was talking about by running down on time. As we're watching Brendan McDonald challenge back on the inside here in the boot. Is going to have the advantage going into this next turn, but looks like Reagan's going to hold firm on the outside as they go up the hill here. We've seen a lot of cars spin out and damage it. Both these drivers in. Brendan McDonald going to tuck in behind, maybe try the crossover here. Brendan McDonald now back on the inside as they head towards turn 10. And Brendan falls back in line in that draft. Tried to put up a challenge, but like I said, I think that's gonna affect Reagan Carty's fuel mileage, making that stop. Maybe he had to answer the phone. I'm not really sure.
I mean, even if he does have to make the stop, when we talked to Brendan McDonald, he said that they would have to make the stop anyway. So he didn't really lose too much in doing so. They still have to stop.
Yep. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. It looks like they're having a little bit of fun with each other right now. So.
A little back and
maybe
forth.
Maybe they want some TV time too. I don't really know. They're coming up on Alexander Sexauer though. That's always a fun thing to watch. Alexander Sexauer in that Corvette in the GT3 field as they come up through the bus stop here, and it looks like Alexander. They're going to have to take it on the outside, and it looks like they're both going to go by cleanly by Alexander Sexauer. Brendan McDonald going to challenge now on the inside, coming into the bottom half of the boot. This is another one of those tricky sections. McDonald there in the Wienermobile gets a little loose there, and unlike the turn that they're coming up to, that corner you get really loose braking. There's a little bit of an elevation change there, and the rear end can step out on you, but Brendan able to hold on to that and going to try to keep pressure on Reagan Carty as they're coming up on Joshua Jackson right now. Excuse me, that's not Joshua Jackson, that's DJ Patterson in that McLaren. So very similar colors to that machine of Joshua, but not exact.
Yeah, maybe Reagan decided to stop and text Brennan and be like, "Hey man, come up here. Let's play around for a little bit." You know, no texting and driving and all. So just trying to be safe out on the track.
Yeah. But I don't know. You stop on the track when cars are going by you at 140, 150 miles an hour. That might not be the safest thing in the world either. But trying to put on a show for the fans out there in V-Speed land. These two drivers trying to do it for you. Brendan McDonald back there, we just had that in-car race interview. Both these drivers now nose to tail. Brendan McDonald now looking to the inside as they head towards the bus stop.
This is an incredible battle between these two right here. This has really developed into something, and I hope it kind of stays like this for a while.
Yeah, I have, I almost sense, and not to take anything away from Brennan, but I think Reagan Carty wants to have a little bit more fun and have a little bit more challenge. Might have been one of the reasons he stopped. So Brendan McDonald now, now that he can see him and going to stay in the draft, it's going to be a matter of if Brendan McDonald can hold it together and not overdrive that car. And you can see that wheel twitch in there. It's another slow spot of the track where these things will get loose as the downforce comes off of them. Dives it down into turn 8 here.
Here's a question for you. With oval cars and drafting, you can be in the draft and save fuel. Is that the same with the GTPs?
It is, but it's not quite as pronounced, obviously. And it also depends on the track. Here, a track like Watkins, Glen, some of the bigger tracks, Spa, you can definitely do that. Le Mans, obviously, you can save a lot of fuel. But other tracks, some of the smaller road courses, it doesn't really have that much to do with anything. In fact, it kind of can hurt you because it takes some of the downforce off the car when you're running behind. So, and especially in these prototypes, it's very hard. And you can see Brennan is really having to work the wheel, probably because he can't get the downforce on the car. So he's got to be extra careful here running in the draft.
Okay, yeah, I just wasn't sure about that, if that was a thing or not with these cars.
It is a thing. It's even a thing with the GT3 cars. I don't spend a lot of times in the prototype I have run the LMP2 more than these cars, which is similar, not quite as fast. LMPs were a favorite a long time ago. I think a lot of iRacing drivers prefer the LMP2s. They're just much more racy, a little bit more planted to the track, but they're a little bit slower. So these cars are a lot more edgy. But yeah, the GT3s even, you can save gas as they're coming up on Corin Smith there. Corin running a top 5 right now, so she's having a solid night there, out there in the Porsche as they go by. But about the best battle on the track. I'm trying to look through here. I don't see anything really going on.
Now this is your closest battle on track, just under a half second. The battle for the GTP or GT3s is almost 6 seconds gap between Austin Cobb currently leading Patty Armstrong.
I'm just looking for another one of our drivers. I was going to bring another driver in, but I don't see that driver in the chat. So I guess I'm not going to do that. I thought it would be interesting to bring a driver here and there, but I don't want to, you know, road course racing, it isn't like oval racing where you get a caution and you can talk to a driver sometimes while they're in the car, but road course racing, I know for me, it was really impressive for Brendan McDonald to talk to me while he was racing because I can't do that. I can't talk and drive at the same time. I'm completely silent and in my own little world when I'm driving.
I'm pretty similar when it comes to even on ovals. I do the same thing because I was racing Premier Series a few weeks ago, and a couple of the van guys jumped in my chat and just started talking, and I'm like, y'all need to stop. I need to focus.
Exactly. I've had that happen before where I've just disconnected myself out of chat. It's like, okay, you guys are talking too much. I can't concentrate. So I'll see you guys when the race is over.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to bring Sammy Yosef up and talk to him, but I don't see him in race chat at all. So I guess that's not going to happen. So he was another driver that agreed to talk to us while driving, which, like I said, is a very difficult thing to do. Anyway, continuing to watch this battle up here with these two cars. Doing a great job. Brendan McDonald holding strong right now. We finally got a decent battle here in the prototype field. So Brendan McDonald really racing that car out wide. I mean, it's going to be all that Brendan McDonald can do as he takes a look to the inside going into one, and very wisely backs out of it. It could have been ugly there for both those drivers. But Reagan Carty, you know, just so smooth and consistent. Although last week we seen, you know, when him and Hector were battling it out, and you can probably vouch for this, Bobby, is those two drivers had a tendency to race each other so hard that one of them would end up not finishing.
Yes. So those two would just, like, they would give 110% when they were battling each other. If one was behind the other, they pushed that car to the limits and then some. To almost always one of them would wreck out trying to beat the other one. It was pretty awesome to watch, honestly, because you got an incredible battle until one of them usually wrecked out.
Yeah. Well, you got a nice little battle here. Brendan McDonald's still trying to find a way around. I'm still confused why Reagan Carty stopped. I don't know. Maybe he just wants to be here at the end. Have a good race for the fans out here, and give Brendan McDonald not competing for the championship, although he missed a bunch of races this year, and that's partly due to it, and had some unfortunate unforced errors out there, or he'd be up there probably in the top 3 in points right now. I think he's currently running maybe 6. I'm just going to go take a look again. No, he's running 5th in points, so 1,200 points back from Jason Kristen. Jason Kristen is currently running in the 4th position. Jason Kristen had that black flag. Him and Tyler Justice were battling it out. Right now, Tyler Justice in the 3rd spot. But so Jason Kristen had a solid season out here in the points, showing up every week, and like I said, being really consistent. Got that black flag today. It might take him off that podium position. We're still watching this battle here in the prototype field, see if Brendan McDonald has anything for Reagan Carty. But so far, can't find a way around that red, white, and blue machine.
And now we're going to throw a lap car in the mix, the Ford of Ian Brisky. See how they navigate this. no problem at all there.
And you can see that Ian's got a brand new front clip on that thing. His pit crew did a great job there getting that Mercedes fixed up there. So Ian is running in the 8th spot in that silver Mercedes back there. So a good showing for his first night here at Goat Locker Racing. I'm just going to go back through the field here while we're watching this battle. Just seeing where our drivers are. Sammy Yosef now on pit lane. So Samuel, it's quite a long ways to go. 50 minutes in. I don't think these cars, I don't know if something happened with Samuel, if there was an incident out there on track.
Yeah, it looks like he was involved in an accident. I can go back and we can show that if you'd like.
Yeah, let's see exactly what happened here. I'm not really sure. Looking at our V-Speed instant replay here. Looks like we're headed towards the bus stop. Gets through the first section okay. Coming up on Alexander Sexauer, it looks like, just ahead of him. Going through the carousel. And we're in the downhill section of the track, and this is where the car likes to step out if you get under the brakes too hard.
Ooh, he checked
and
up
yeah,
hard.
I don't think he anticipated Sexauer to back up the corner as much as he did, and in that corner it's just so easy to get the rear tires to lock up, and then he tows it to pit lane. So tough break for Sammy Yosef. He is the last car that's still out there running, is still on pit lane, getting that tow. So I don't know if his race is over or not, but he's got. I don't think he could recover from that one. He's 10 laps down at the moment.
It would be pretty impressive.
Impressive to say the least. We're still watching the prototype battle up here. The Wienermobile up against Reagan Carty out there. Going to be up and close and personal. He's got that hot dog machine coming up on his rear. He's got to be very careful here, Reagan. Brent watching that mirror and make sure Brennan doesn't get all the way up in there. And Brennan hard on the brakes there again, trying to run Reagan back down. You can see him swing the rear of that car out.
It looks like Reagan is backing up the corners some more than Brennan is, especially getting into one.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking Reagan is just doing his normal thing, just being super smooth and not really worrying about what Brennan is doing back there. And it's going to be Brennan's job to try to out-muscle him out of the way as they're coming up on the 4th place car there of Joshua Jackson there. Actually, the 3rd place car, excuse me, Joshua. He's currently on a podium right now.
Yeah, I believe he took over the 3rd position whenever Samuel had his accident.
Kind of split up those 2 prototypes now. About 2 car lengths back for Brennan McDonald. So go through the final section here of the boot, back up on the main portion of Watkins Glen.
Just over 8 minutes left in the race. And when do you expect to see the GTPs come back down pit road?
Anytime. I seen Jamie Lipke made her stop, so just taking a look here. Jamie Lipke, Bill Mulfield was on 9 laps ago, so Bill Mulfield should be good to go. So I think he came in right after he knew he could make it. So anytime they could bring him down. So it's just a matter of when they want to do it. And no real strategy involved. Their beds are kind of made, so it's just a matter of when they want to come in and get that last little dash of fuel if they know they can't make it. The one I question, and Brendan McDonald mentioned this before, is how did Reagan Carty save all that fuel? And it's something I've seen him do before, and so that's the big question of whether Reagan Carty can make it all the way. None of the other prototypes can do it.
And it's still a question of whether or not he can do it, even with when he pitted and the little stop on track and fuel save.
As we watch Brendan jump to the inside there. Got to be very careful in this turn, and he does a good job. Almost gets into the back of Reagan, but able to keep it off of Alexander Sexauer. They had to go around the outside of Alexander Sexauer in the carousel there.
Oh!
And he's really pushing that car super hard.
Yeah, you saw Brendan McDonald get a little loose coming off the turn there. Got in the grass a little bit. Car does not like that. Here they're going to pass Patty Armstrong, the second place car for the GT3.
Well, that broke up that battle a little bit. Well, we talked about Ohio. Why don't we talk about Indiana? So another great veteran organization that helps out veterans in the state of Indiana. InVets aids in transitioning to civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure their success and happiness. They're a veteran nonprofit located in Indiana with the goal of bringing veterans to that state to live and work. So there you go. We both covered Ohio, and I think I might have stepped on myself that last time when I was talking about Indiana. No, I was right. Both of them are Indiana. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, we were talking about Ohio and Nasties, and so we got both those states covered.
Yeah, they're next to each other. So yeah, I guess that's where my confusion lies. But yeah, looking for assistance out there in Indiana. You got a couple of great organizations out there to help you, and InVets is one of those, and also one of the great sponsors here at Goat Locker Racing.
Yeah, Indiana does a great job at supporting their veterans. It's a great community to see, and I know a lot of our members are from Indiana. A lot of our rig recipients are, so it's good to see the state looking after their veterans.
Yeah, we should have been, we had Indy last week. We should have had all these sponsors for last week because we were at Indy, and now we're over here on the East Coast and doing the Midwestern states. But that's all fine. Like I said, a lot of our sim racers are from that area, so great organization to be a part of.
Actually, Goat Locker is actually set up at the Indy practice this weekend, so if you're in the area, stop by and check out the Goat Locker racing tent.
Yeah, they have a booth set up there at the racetrack. I believe it's at the infield, right, Bobby?
I would have to go back and look at the map that was shared. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, I think I caught a glimpse of it. I think it was on the infield, but I'm not 100% sure. As I see one of the GT3s, Alexander Sexauer, making his final pit stop of the night. But Reagan Carty continuing to dominate here. Other than the pit cycles, I think Brendan McDonald was able to lead one lap at least, but he's pretty much led all the others. Trying to fend off Brendan McDonald here in the closing moments of the race. 4 minutes to go. As we're closing down at the end of the season, last race, like I said, wow, what a long season it's been. I'm just going to follow up. I'm sorry there, Bobby, but I was just going to check on our leader, the GT3. We've been focused on the prototypes, but Austin Cobb out there dominating right now in that Corvette. Had to give up the first third of this race to Patty Armstrong. Patty Armstrong with a strong start of this race, but Austin Cobb now is doing what he normally does. Got almost 5 seconds over Patty Armstrong. Putting a final cap on, like I said, the last race of the season. And Bobby, it's been an absolute pleasure having you producing. And now the final race of the season, actually having you here in the booth with me.
Yeah, it's been fun. This is my first time actually producing for V-Speed and Goat Locker. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a pleasure working with you and Jacob. We've had an awesome all-veteran crew most of the year, so it's been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for being here, and you've done a great job producing. Couldn't have done it without you, but I'm just, we lost Brendan McDonald. I think he's made his pit stop. So, yeah, Brendan McDonald making his final stop of the night. Now the question is just how good Reagan Carty is on fuel. And if he isn't good on fuel, he's going to need a quick stop, because those two guys were nose to tail. Know that Reagan Carty was really fast out there, and maybe not given it all he's worth, but now that he doesn't have a car to compare himself to with Brendan McDonald out there, he might be pushing it a little bit harder to make sure he doesn't get himself in trouble if he does have to make that final pit stop.
Give himself a little buffer, that way he can get on pit road and get off cleanly without worrying about Brendan McDonald being too close.
And if you remember Brendan McDonald making that mistake on on pit road entrance there on his last stop. You know, that certainly could happen to Reagan McCarty, although I wouldn't expect it. But sometimes you get a lot of rear brake in the car, and you go onto pit lane, you're at your slowest, and that rear end just comes around on you from too much rear brake bias and just not really thinking about your pit road entry, especially here at Watkins Glen, because it's kind of a hard right-hander, and then you're immediately on the brakes. And it's very easy to loop that car around, as we've seen the hot dog machine do that.
So, a minute and a half left in the race. Their best lap was a minute 33. So next time around should be the white flag.
Yes, yeah, you got that right. Hey, you're becoming a good road course racer there. As we're watching Reagan Carty work on one of the GT3s, as Timothy Williams there, currently running in fourth in that BMW. So the question is will Reagan Carty have to pit this time by? As the flag man is preparing that white flag for this prototype, and we'll have to see. I'm also curious of where he is in relationship now. So Cobb is quite a ways ahead, so we don't have to worry about that. So, you know, you'll always have to worry if you're Austin Cobb, if you're going to have to do an extra lap or not. And it looks like Austin Cobb's got a little bit of distance over the prototype field. As we're watching Reagan Carty head up now to turn 9, the uphill section, and over the left-hander. And we're going to wait and see if he's going to head to pit lane or take the white flag. The glove station white flag is going to be presented either on pit lane or on the straightaway here. We'll see if he can do it one more lap. And it looks like he's staying out, so he is good on fuel according to him. We'll have to wait and see, but the glove station white flag is out for Reagan Carty.
I mean, if he does run out of gas, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen that this season. So let's hope he's got enough to make it around one more time.
Yeah, well, in Brendan McDonald's case, let's hope he doesn't. So Brendan McDonald would like to put that Wienermobile up front and get a second win of the season. So we'll have to wait and see. Reagan Carty has nothing to lose. He pretty much locked up the championship just as Austin Cobb did. Speaking of Austin Cobb, I want to go back and take a quick peek at him, as Austin Cobb is now getting ready to take the glove station white flag once again for the GT3 field. Austin Cobb for the final time of the season. One more lap to go to wrap this thing up. And there is your leader of the GT3 field. Only needs to get it done one more time here at Watkins Glen. And he is also, along with Reagan Carty, just put on a dominant performance this season. But looking back at Reagan Carty here, down in the boot, he is just got a couple turns away there, Bobby, from wrapping this thing up.
Yeah, I do think it's very fitting that we have the race winners tonight be the champions. It only makes sense with the way the season has gone.
Well, he's coming around turn 9 here, going into turn 10. Does he have the fuel? I don't see him moving the car back and forth, so it looks like he's going to get it done. The checkered flag is out. Reagan Carty does it one more time. The last time, the most important time, wins the race, wins the championship. There is your champion of the prototype field, Reagan Carty.
Awesome. Now we just got to wait for Austin Cobb to come across the line, as he has about a half a lap left. I wish I knew turns better. I have no idea what turns they're entering or exiting, but Austin Cobb in that beautiful black and blue Corvette coming up the hill one last time. Two more turns to go.
Here tonight.
Flashing the lights in celebration. As he comes around the last turn, Austin Cobb will be your GT3 winner and season champion.
Great job there for Austin Cobb. Patty Armstrong with a solid finish there, just behind him there. Will take that second place spot though. So Patty kept it close, but yeah, Austin Cobb doing what he does best as we're watching Reagan Carty now. He hasn't got no rear wing on that thing, so I think he was too busy celebrating and decided to rip it off there. And it looks like the Wienermobile is down there with him doing burnouts. But yeah, great job from those drivers. I'll tell you what, we had a great race here tonight. We are going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk to our champions and race winners, so they happen to be the same. So Should be a couple of interesting interviews, see how their season went and their race tonight. We'll be back momentarily.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org.
We are back live at Watkins, Glen, with the final race of the season. What a battle we had here tonight. This is your unofficial results. Reagan Carty, 8th win on the season. It was going to lock up the championship. Another dominating performance here tonight. 41 seconds over second place. Brandon McDonald, who put up a good challenge there at the end, but had to make that extra stop. Couldn't make it work. Tyler Justice is going to grab the 3rd spot. Shows up as an intermediate driver, but does really well here tonight for that 3rd position. Jason Kristen with the penalty will end up in 4th. Jamie Lipke, hard-fought battle all season, tried to get that championship. No such luck. She is going to finish 5th and 2nd in points. Bill Mofield is going to finish 3rd in points and in the 6th position. And then Max Dragu with a host of problems out here tonight does not finish the race in 7th.
Switching gears to your GT3 field, Austin Cobb will be your series champion and race winner, so congratulations to him. 2nd place will be the 121 of Patty Armstrong. 3rd place will be the 70 of Joshua Jackson, which I believe is 2nd place on points for the year. 4th place for the race finish will be Timothy Wilms. Rounding out your top 5 will be the number 10 of Corinne Smith. 6th place will be the 236 of DJ Patterson, followed by the 333 of Alexander Sexauer. 8th place will be the 4 of Ian Brisky. 9th will be the 36 of Samuel Yosef, and rounding out your GT3 field will be the 122 of Itamar Elemehe.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's probably better than I can do. So that I don't know why I struggle with Itamar's. I can't even say his Mars. I can usually get his first name, but his last name is tough. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk to our race winner and champion of the GT3 series. First, Austin Cobb. I haven't got to talk to you all season. This is Ken Huber in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Certainly do. How are you guys doing?
Oh, doing pretty good, man. What a dominant performance you had here tonight. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, but start off with the start of that race. And how did Patty get by you on that start?
Well, I found myself on the outside of the final corner, and that's pretty much the last place you want to be. And I think it's just the way the start grid was formulated. I was on the outside for some reason. So Patty did a great job getting alongside. There's really not much I could do other than just like get a significantly better jump, which I did not. But it was a fun battle. We had a really tense moment. I think it was lap 7 where we made some slight contact, but luckily we both lived through that. And then he just made a tiny mistake a little bit later. and I was able to get alongside before the run up the hill, and it made it very difficult on Patty to do anything to defend. So um, yeah, very fun battle. It was a good clean start, clean racing. You love to see it.
Yeah, and it was a great job all season long for you. You've really put on a a championship run, and I got to tell you, Joshua Jackson, who finished second behind you, quite a ways back in points, but I have to attribute some of that to the double points. Joshua Jackson, maybe not running up front every week, was able to get a win, but last week was like a clutch moment where you really needed to get it done, and you did, and it kind of sealed the fate for Joshua Jackson. I mean, talk about your season overall. It was pretty commanding there most of the season.
Yeah, very fun season. There were a lot of very fast guys that joined here and there, and it would have been spectacular to have them stick around the entire season. I know Josh is just the epitome of consistency, and he started this championship with that win at Fuji because Cody McElwain and I ran out of gas, which was very sad. We were having a titanic fight. Um, but yeah, so it's been very entertaining, ups and downs. I really struggled in the rain, but brought that full circle when we went to Coda. Finally put it together, got the setup right, and just felt comfortable finally. Um, but yeah, just love this car. Love the series. GT3 is in a really good spot right now, I think. And yeah, just a lot of fun, and I loved competing with the guys. Really never had a bad incident with anybody. Everybody's very respectful here, and again, you just absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, I think if I remember the most, well, I remember one incident in particular. I don't remember what track, but I remember you having an incident with your teammate, and I haven't seen that before. I think your teammate was driving a different class car, a McLaren, I believe. But and the reason that sticks out is because seeing the two teammates wreck it always it calls attention to itself sometimes.
Yeah, yep. I spun, just completely lost it trying to keep up with Kajime, and yeah, I forgot I needed to pit and just tapped the brake a little too hard. And in the Corvette at that point, if you make a mistake in a corner, it doesn't understeer, it oversteers. So it's deadly. And I called it out to Derek, my teammate. I called it out a little too late, I guess. He came around the corner and just T-boned me. And that's I remember that now. Luckily salvaged the position, fourth position there. So not a terrible day at the office.
Well, who do you have to thank for getting you this championship and this win here tonight?
Yeah, Lincoln Tech, Save 22, MK Fire Design, ZAT Graphics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Iron Vets, and ATYL. Got to thank you guys as well. You've been awesome. Got to thank my other half. Thank Adrenaline Motorsports for helping me with setups and practice. Love those guys. And yeah, just a big thank you to everybody.
All right. Well, good luck to you next season.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
All right, that was Austin Cobb, our champion of the GT3 series, as well as your race winner here at Watkins Glen. Now I am going to see if I can grab a hold of Reagan Carty. I'm standing by with Reagan Carty. You got a copy?
Yeah, hello, mate.
Hey, you're back. I mean, no surprise. You're in victory lane. But what a race there. You kind of have a nice little race there with Brendan McDonald here towards the end of that. Why don't you talk about the last few laps?
Yeah, man, honestly, it was pretty fun because my strategy was to try and just go for the one stop because everyone seemed like they had to go for the double anyway. But I had to fix my pedal because it kept sticking and it wouldn't actually allow me save enough fuel to the end. So I had to stop and fix that. And then I was like
Well,
trying to
that
look
was going to
behind
bring
me as
me
well.
that was going to bring me to my next question of what the stop on the track was all about.
Yeah, honestly, it was like I don't even know what to call it, but it was like something lodged stopping it from coming all the way back. And so it was just constantly at least like 10% on, and I was just burning so much more fuel, and as well through the corners, it felt like it was something was strange with the car. And then I looked at the little telemetry thing. It's like, oh, that green line's up a bit, so had to figure that out.
Well, you did a great job. You got it figured out. You got the race win. And speaking of wins, you got 8 wins on the season, and you got the championship. Just absolutely, other than a race or two, absolutely killed it. Talk about your season and how that went for you.
I mean, overall, it's just been pretty fun, I will admit. Especially with a load of the very, very silly hot tracks that we've had. I've never had to race on like 50-degree tracks before. It showed of how bad I am, especially at Laguna a few weeks ago. But anyway, from that, I but yeah, it's been really, really fun. I will admit, there's definitely been quite a few good battles. Like for example, with me and Nathan at Silverstone, that was pretty fun because I had to try and work around the strategies and whatnot, make sure I had to be ahead of him uh, at the end of the pit stops, and with Hector as well. Don't get me wrong, it was only a few laps at Indy, but I wish he was there today because that would have been a good fight as well. So yeah, overall a pretty sound season.
Well, who do you have to thank for getting you this championship, this race win here tonight as well?
Well, always first things first with Throttleworks Racing. Let me race under their name, and for giving me a nice livery to race with as well, and for putting on this league of Lincoln Tech, Save 22, MK5 Design, and Zach Graphics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, INVETS, and ATYL.
All right. Well, congratulations on that win and that championship. And we'll talk to you maybe next season.
Yeah, we'll do. Cheers, mate.
All right. Later. All right. That was Reagan Carty, the champion of the prototype field, as well as tonight's winner. Well, I'm going to start off with let's see who we have that's waiting to talk. Let's talk to Patty Armstrong, I guess. Patty Armstrong, Ken Huber in the booth. You got a copy.
Hi there, guys. How you going?
Hey, pretty good. Your night went pretty well. You were able to jump out to lead there on the start and kept it close. Talk about your race tonight.
Yeah, better drive than the last 3 weeks that I've done. Yeah, it was a tire race really. I mean, I was saving a lot of fuel once Austin got by me, but I ended up overfueling in the pit stop anyway. I ended the race with an extra lap, so I think I kind of blundered on the strategy. But I think had I put the right amount of fuel in, it's always hard to tell with the GTPs on how many laps you're going to go on the race. I think I probably would have been a little bit closer to Austin at the end, and maybe would have been able to fight. I think I maybe saved a bit more tire to towards the end, and then I was catching him, but not quick enough. So
Yeah, and
going
that's
into next season, that's something to work on. But yeah.
that's one of those dangers when you are multi-class racing is knowing exactly how much fuel to put in because, like you said, you end up going a lap short, and you could find yourself out there pushing that car to the start finish line instead of racing it there. So, um, but you did a great job this season. It's been fun to watch you here as we wrap this last race up. Who do you have to thank for getting you the second place finish here tonight?
Of course, my team, the boys. Unfortunately, out of 4 cars we had on the grid today, only I finished.
That's a tough break.
So yeah, tough luck on that one. But yeah, my boys at Angler Racing, Jam Printing and Promotions, MK Fire Design, Zach Graphics, V Speed, Alexander PCs, Cruising Classics, and GTR Simulators.
All right. Well, we'll see you next season, and great job here tonight.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Have a good one.
All right, that was Patty Armstrong. Second place there in the GT3s. Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's time to talk to the captain of the Wienermobile, and that's Brendan McDonald. Ends up coming home in second here tonight at Watkins Glen. Talk about your race here tonight.
Oh, it's great to talk to you again, Ken. Just makes my night. Nah, it was a fun race. Reagan had his issue. Obviously, I still had to pit. I don't know what that alien's doing to save fuel. I was just talking to Tyler Justice about it. He was fuel saving just like I was, and still couldn't make up nearly anything. But yeah, it was a fun race, good time. Proud of the Wienermobile. I got it up to P2, right where it belongs. So pretty happy.
Yeah, when before I brought you up for the in car interview, I was a little concerned. I seen that car and I was like, what's he gonna do tonight? What's his plan? Because I think weren't you racing John Deere at the start of the season?
I was. Just wasn't doing it for me. you know, he called me a lawnmower one race, and so that's where the John Deere livery came from.
I don't know. That means we
Um,
love you.
no, I know, but I had to wear that with pride. So why not get a John Deere sponsorship on there? And then just realized my true calling was the Wienermobile. Love hot dogs, and why not race a hot dog?
Why not? Well, great job out there getting second. Solid runs this season. Had some mistakes, but I look forward to watching you race. It's always a lot of fun. Like I said, racing with you and watching you race. Who do you have to thank to get you the second place here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to thank Jam Printing and Promotions. Of course, got to thank V Speed, Alexander PCs, Cruising Classics, GTR Simulators, and none other than MK Fire Designs and Zat Graphics.
All right. Well, good luck to you next season. Look forward to watching you race.
Thanks, Ken. Talk to you soon.
Later. All right. That was Brendan McDonald. Well, let's do third place of the GT3 field. That's Joshua Jackson, Mr. Strategy. Joshua, Ken Huber of the booth, you got a copy?
Got a good copy.
Hey, you end up second in points. Really solid run this season. Had some really great strategy calls. You know, we watched you race. You had kind of a quiet night, but we didn't get to talk to you last week. But let's talk about last week at Indy. What was up with the early stop? So just to let everybody know, he came in 10, 15 minutes before everybody else and decided to make an extra pit stop. And for the life of me, I don't know why.
So no matter what I tried, whether it be in free practice on my own time or in the session practice, I could not save enough fuel to get it to where I needed to be for the 3 stints. I needed 28 laps, but I can only get 27, no matter how hard I tried. No matter how much I tried. So, and if I would have gotten the 28, I think I'd have been fine, but I just couldn't do it. So I just kind of reversed the strategy a little bit to where I would just go in early and then just run the rest of the race on the full stops. So
Yeah,
it was unfortunate, but I just couldn't do anything about it.
Well, we call you Mr. Strategy up here in the booth because for the most part, you've had pretty good strategy. And it's kind of strange you couldn't get that gas mileage at Indy because it isn't a high fuel usage track like here at Watkins Glen. But yeah, no, you've done a great job this season. What are you looking forward most to for next season?
Honestly, I didn't think I'd be this high. And especially with a win, I wasn't expecting any of it. So I mean, just more of the same. Probably a little bit of a closer competition, but other than that, we'll see. I'm just gonna keep doing what I do and see if it works or not for me.
Well, it seems to be working somewhat. So second place in points and a win, like you said. So you're doing I mean, if you keep doing it, you're just going to get more wins and get higher in the points. But who do you have to thank for getting you this second place here, or this third place tonight and second place in points?
I want to thank iRacing, MK Fire Design, Sim Motion, Harpoon Designs, Zat Graphics, and all my friends and family that always tune in to watch and support me.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you next season. We'll look forward to watching you.
Appreciate it.
All right, Joshua Jackson there, third place in the GT3 field. I've only got one more driver to talk to, and that is Tyler B. Justice. Hey, Tyler, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, great. Yeah, you haven't made many races this season, but when you do, you're fun to watch. Great job getting this third place here tonight. Talk about how your race went. You had a little bit of a race there with Jason. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, it was real fun. First stint. Me and Jason were really clean with each other, which was really fun. Hate that whatever happened with Jamie. I think that would have been a good four-way battle between all of us. I got caught in traffic a little bit, and Jason was able to take advantage. And I did a little early pit stop, tried to do a little undercut. I don't know what happened because I came out pretty far ahead, and then it was pretty boring throughout the rest. But I knew I was going to, for whatever reason, the Porsche wasn't able to save much fuel, and I had to take that last splash and go, and had a Charles Leclerc "I am stupid" moment going into the pits. Got on the brakes a little too hard, and it just went around. And then continued the Ferrari trend. I had thought I had my tires unchecked on my Stream Deck, but for whatever reason, it still gave me tires. And yeah, made it a little bit closer than I wanted to. But yeah, it was real fun. I was glad to be able to come back out here and do a race. I've been pretty busy on Tuesdays, but it was a really fun race.
Yeah, we did a great job out there. For when you do show up for these races, it's a lot of fun to watch you. Who do you have to thank to get you the third place finish here tonight?
Yeah, first off, I want to thank Goat Locker Racing always. Pat, Jamie, Jake, Ryan, everybody involved. Put on this league and great series, especially Tim. Just keep letting it keep evolve because I've been here basically, I think, since the first season of it. And it's just been awesome seeing it evolve into what it is. iRacing, MK Fire Design for being the title sponsor, Sim Motion, Harpoon Designs, Zach Graphics, and Lions 3D Design, Sim Shop, use code Bandits, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, King Forks Basement and Drywall Repair, and then you guys in the booth. I can't wait to go back and watch it.
Yeah, we even had Bobby here tonight, so yeah.
Okay.
Looking forward for watching that too. So Bobby decided to make his presence known here tonight. Otherwise, I'd have been here by myself. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been pretty lonely.
Yeah. Well, I've done it before. I guess I'm capable of doing it again. But it was great watching you guys out there battle, and good luck to you next season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you all.
All right, that was Tyler Justice, and that is the end there, Bobby. Well, I got to really thank you for showing up tonight and giving me a hand here for the last race of the season.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been in a booth talking to people other than myself, so it was fun. Thanks for letting me join you.
Yeah, I'm glad to get you out of the closet there and get your mouth going again. But what a great season we had here for the MK Sports Car Championship Series here. Reagan Carty wins the Prototype Championship, Austin Cobb winning the GT3 field. We are going to go on a summer break here. I don't know what we have in store 3 weeks from now, but Goat Locker Racing, I'm sure, is going to have some kind of sports car series going on. It might even be the MX-5. I'm not really sure, but make sure you show up and we'll see what next season brings for the summer series. But what a great night we've had. What a great season. I got to thank Jacob Lenke, who's been with me most of the season. Corin Smith has been with me alongside as well. Tonight we had Bobby Bender. So a big thanks to you three guys for helping me out there. I got to also thank Eddie Smith for all he does. Dougie Beard for the cameras tonight. Pratik Drabic, Jamie Barkus, all the folks at Goat Locker Racing. On behalf of myself and everybody at V-Speed, I want to wish everybody a safe and great night and enjoy the rest of their week. And we'll see you here when the next season happens. And don't forget, tomorrow night we have got the next gen here, right here on V-Speed. Goat Locker Racing will do the premiere series, and myself and Jacob Lenke will be back for that one. And we'll look forward to seeing everyone here tomorrow night.